This is my LEGO Star Wars 2024 Clone Trooper Army. Now this video is going to be a full walkthrough, detailed guide of all of the vehicles and clone troopers I have with exact figures in order to prepare for Brick Lee's Clone Trooper Army that he is doing, and I'm so excited to get into it. But first, hit that subscribe button. We're going for 30,000 subs. I am so excited to get into this all with you right now. Now we're going to be dividing this video into 3 parts. The first part being the named characters, then we're going to be getting into the broader army, which I have itemized lists with numbers for, and then after that we're going to get into vehicles, which we have quite a few of, and I will also be addressing at the end some extras that you might not be seeing here on screen, which will ultimately add up to our final total. So please do excuse the camera movement because I am doing this all handheld. Starting off is the Captain Rex from the UCS Venator. This is coming out in a Microfighter later this year. We're also getting the ARC Trooper 5s that I have here. Only one so far. Love them to death. Fox, don't love so much, but we got Fox. Commander Cody official. Then we have Jek 14 back here. This is the 2014 variant, I believe, and maybe it's sooner than that. I'm not too sure. Then we also have the 2013 Captain Rex here. This is the $200 one. And then it's gonna start getting a little more obscure back here. So you're gonna notice not one Commander Greed, but we have 2. Now, what is the difference? If you look at the legs, one has a little gray strap, one has a green one. I know, wow. Big difference over there. But these are the type of variations you see with Clone Troopers. There's a whole variety of them. There is Commander Vaughn, who's very common to get in a battle pack. There is a custom Wolf Pack Commander Wolf. This is with Jonak Toys torso printing. Commander Picard, this is a full Clone Army Customs with Cape Cantina capes, as well as Jesse, same deal. We have I guess a more modern version of Jek 14. Then we also have, I guess back here, is a Captain Hauser. This is a custom decaled Jonak Toys, special printed, UV printed one. Same thing with Grays. Same thing with this Fox. This Fox and this Bly are also Jonak Toys decals. And then we have this Trooper that's just a new helmet exclusive mold. And then we move back further and we have Boss, we have Gregor, and we have Scorch. I'm still missing 2 Delta Squad members, so if someone would like to help me out and find those from Clone Army Customs would be helpful. We have Keller back here. This is a mostly custom figure. We have Neo here. This is fully Clone Army Customs. And then we work our way around. These guys right here, this is interesting. So this is a Grandpa Clone Customs Shock Trooper, which is why he looks like he should belong with the officials, but he's not. Same deal with this boy. This is one of the ones from the Bad Batch. We also have Mayday. This is a Clone Army Customs helmet with a Jonak Toys torso. Then we have our Commander Cody row. This is an interesting row. First up is my favorite probably. This is from Firestar Toys. I think they just nailed him the best. Again, not the biggest fan of these visors. He does come with his jetpack though. He comes with a very nice face print, very epic, a little screaming one, which LEGO didn't do, obviously. And then we have a bit of a fix someone tried to do with the Cody, giving him this new visor. There's also this one. It is of the Imperial Commander Cody. Jonak Toys. This is official Clone Army Customs one. This is Jonak Toys non-Imperial Commander Cody. And then this is one that Mike and Nike sent me. I believe it's also Jonak Toys. And I will leave a link if you want in the description to buy Jonak Toys. Use code RSTUDS for 15% off. I also have some characters from a series they did called Rico, a LEGO Star Wars Story / Clone Traders. Like this is Gus, for instance, and this is Grinch. So now, and also there is a version of Rico. There are 2 of these actually. This one is using a different one. I did a series a long time ago. It was great. You could look it up, Rico, a LEGO Star Wars Story. It was a full stop motion series. We will be having some news on that soon, which is why all of them are not here. I've been alluding to this very heavily. But yeah, we have a lot of Commander Codys, and we have, of course, the official one over here. And then we have some Bad Batch guys, which we'll get to in a sec. First off, I want to get to some of my nicest looking Clone Troopers. These are my Clone Army Customs ARC Trooper 5s and Echo. They look gorgeous. They have some of those Printech Workshop breastplates slash camas. They look fan-freaking-tastic. I also have one on this Captain Hauser over here, which just looks gorgeous. I have one on a Rex somewhere back here. I believe this is one right here. Also, speaking of which, there is Fireball. But these guys, they look gorgeous with them on. Oh my gosh. I truly love the way both of them look with the special blasters, you know, capes, and then also just wrap around. Look at that. Gorgeous. Love it. All right. And then we also have Commander Wolf. Look at that. Very epic. And then we have some of my favorites, which are Clone Army Customs Bad Batch characters, specifically Echo and Crosshair. These two are the nicest looking in my opinion. LEGO never did an official Crosshair in his armor, which is unfortunate, and Echo with the hand and everything is just great. They did an exclusive hand mold, which I'm trying to focus on. Oh, there, look at that, it's gorgeous. They did Tech, and they did Hunter, which Hunter looks good. I'm not a fan of Tech. Wrecker looks a little goofy. There is a part of their Crosshair. I didn't buy the full torso because it was really expensive. Also, there's Appa. Also, you can see back there Omega. That is not Clone Army Customs, that is Firestar Toys. I think they do some of the best custom work in LEGO Star Wars and in LEGO in general these days. So I strongly recommend them. We also got Kix, who is decaled from Jonak. We have Jesse, who's decaled from Jonak. Vaughn, Hardcase, an earlier variant of Jesse. This was an exclusive minifigure of Rico I did back when I had only a couple hundred subs. Maybe a couple thousand on YouTube. We had like a limited edition, like 40 release. They sold out. Some people out there still have them. They're very hard to find, but I still have one. And we also have an official minifigure. We have the 2005 Kashyyyk Trooper. And then that whole back row is just a variety of customs. We have a Jonak Mando. We have some Clone Army Customs Troopers. This was sent to me by a fan. I have a P.O. box down in the description, so people used to send me stuff. Maybe I should do that again. Like look at people's clones and review them or something. Over here I also have Clone Mom, Clone Dad, and Clone Son, the first of all of them. Very epic. And that basically sums up most of the customs. Now we do have some official named characters, and again, we had a lot of officials in here too. I'm specifically talking Phase 1s over there. Now here we have a Captain Rex with Commander Fox. Now here we have a bit of an interesting setup, because we have Commander Gree lined up next to Captain Rex, lined up next to Commander Wolf, lined up next to Cody, lined up next to an incomplete version of Fox. I do not have his helmet. His helmet is like $50, and I could not be bothered to replace it. Enough said. He has two clone captains behind him. The interesting thing, some of these you will notice have these Firestar Toys arm printings. I just think they look great on those guys, but they do mess up the official look a little bit. Cody's being backed up by just one of these simple boys from the battle packs. I also have two Wolfpack Troopers. One of them is cracked in the torso, unfortunately. And then interesting about Wolf, he might not, but he should have a wolf face. Yes, look at that. Gorgeous. Love it. I have it on another figure too. Here we have the Commander who has arm printing, the Clone Lieutenant. I have another Commander Gree because he came in 2 sets, so I have 2 of him. And we also have this Clone Boy. And then we have a handful of ARC Troopers. This is the official LEGO one, as complete as it can get. Gorgeous, gorgeous minifigure. Gorgeous. And now we have some Phase 2 guys we have to get to on the other side over there. First up is the Bad Batch. Very simplistic. You'll notice the first row does have special arm printing, again, from Firestar Toys. Back row does not. I have 3 Hunters because he came in a battle pack, or rather a advent calendar. Because he came in an advent calendar, which is why we have a little bit extra. But I do have 2 sets of them, one with arm printing, one without. And then I do have 2 Omegas. I forgot why. I think it was because she also came in an advent calendar. And then we have some more custom Commander Codys over here. This is a bit of an interesting bunch. This one is unique because it is the official LEGO one, but with the Firestar special custom arm printing, which I think looks swell. LEGO should have done arm printing. We also have this one that is just official Cody, and then I believe this other one is just another official Cody. And then we move over a little bit. Again, Gregor's head is missing because it's part of that project I alluded to earlier with Rico. But we got Rex and Wolf here, the old boys from the ATTE, which I do have, and we'll talk about that towards the end. I also do have a kind of customized version of Endor Rex with the technically official Rex face, not really, from Nick Saint. And then I also like to make a lore that Commander Wolf was also on Endor, so I gave him like the gunmetal gray Endor style helmet from Rogue One, so that way he'd fit in on Endor. And then we also have a handful. We have one of the 2013 to 12 Troopers. I only own one of those. We have a handful of pilots. I believe Captain Jag is in there, as well as some other Republic pilots like that one from 2005 era. Then we also have these 2 pilots. They're custom helmets, which is interesting, but official torsos. Then we have the 501st pilot from, I believe, the Z Fighters. And then we have some Clone Army Customs. These were sent to me by them a while back for a Venator mock I did. They sent snipers, specialists. There's a whole variety of them. A lot of it's helmets that are on official torsos. and a lot of it is official figures themselves, which is neat. Now, that is most of the custom minifigures. Now, I'm not going to be revealing the official count in this video, but I do have a lot of custom minifigures coming in the mail. I also have a bunch of minifigures that are out right now, being loaned to a friend for a mysterious project. So that will kind of explain some of the inconsistencies where I get to the final number. Now let's get into looking at the official big army, very exciting stuff. So the biggest army I have by a mile is my 501st Troopers. We'll start right over there. You see a glorious line of them. They are lining the undercarriage of the Venator, and they take up the biggest chunk out of anyone, even though it doesn't feel like it because the Venator's kind of covering them from up top, but you could just get in there and ooh, that is nice. And you do this camera movement for a little while before you see other colors and other variations. There are a total of 130 of those, roughly. And that's going to go up a little bit, especially now that we are going to be getting them in the Carolyn Beck Speeder. I specifically have two gaps here, actually. I have one right here, which I filled with a 2013 501st Trooper, and one right here, which I filled with no one. I accidentally filtered, what's his name? Where is his name? Apo. In there, because literally all he is a helmet change. He is the same as everyone else. He was actually a part of that army for a while. I forgot I had him. Because he just has the one little armor change. Now, as for the heavy troopers, we have two rows of them. We have one row over here, and then we have one row over here. We have about 58 of those. I obviously didn't want to bulk up as much on the new clone pack because I want to have a proportionate amount to the regular 501st Battle Pack. And then as for the snipers and officers, in total we have 48. That guy fell, oh bruh. But we have officers here, we have snipers over here. Oh, the snipers look sharp, man. They look sharp. And then in the back, we have jetpack clones. Now, obviously, as you could tell, I had a lot of the regular 501st, so I needed to get a lot of jetpacks with those as well. For every 3 501st, there was one jetpack. So in that regard, I actually have 42 of them, which isn't a bad number, I think. I think you'd make a nice jump squad with that. None of the numbers, I think I have a perfectly nice, sizable army. I don't feel like any number is too much or more, so don't worry, it's gonna get good. The first army I'm a little lackluster in is 332nds. I have about 12 of them, both variations. I do have some battle pack sealed, but I only have 12. I just haven't been bulking up on them as much as I'd like to, probably. Maybe I just don't want to spend the money on it. But I have them heading up the 501st Army, which is nice. I like them a lot. But in terms of other clones, we have the OG 501st Troopers. You see about 4 of them here, and then there are 4 on the other side. And then we have some of them dispersed. We have one over there, we have one over there, we have one in the back that you saw earlier. And OG 501st clones, we have roughly 11 of them. And then we're gonna go to the 212 Troopers. Now, these are the 2020 212 Troopers. They're very epic. Some people don't like the helmet holes. I really don't care that much. I have 30 of those. I do have about 50 of the sealed poly bags, but I am not opening those. I feel like I have enough of a clone army. I don't want to open up a whole new bag of worms. And then we also have 14 of the OG ones you can see back here. And OG being the 2014 variation. I think the best looking clone troopers personally. Then we also have airborne troopers, which I ironically have more of than the 2014 212 troopers. Now, some of them are like that new one. We have, I believe, 2 of the new one from the General Grievous Starfighter, but they are great. They came in the battle pack back in the day. So we have 19 of those. Now I'm gonna get up a little closer, because next up is the plain white clones. These are mainly the ones that they just released. So we have a total of 31 of those from that clone pack set. And then I have a handful of those sealed, but again, nothing crazy. Then I also have the more modern, or older versions rather, the 2008 ones from the Lego Star Wars games. I have about 20 of those. And then I also have 12 of the more 2013 style ones that were from, I think, the Jedi Clone Trooper Battle Pack. I have about 13 of those. I don't have a lot. As it gets older, obviously, I have less. I have not collected clones as long as some people have. Now, where it gets a little shocking is here. I have about 12 of these guys right now. Now, I'll explain a bit at the end. I'm getting a lot more in soon, but I have 12 of those, and I have 5 of those. Not a great number. I actually have 6 officially opened of these guys, and then I have 3 more of those. The reason I have that few, I only have 1 gunship, and it's that one. And again, I'll get into kind of my logicking behind all that in a second. I don't have a lot of the new ones. But in terms of other variants, we have about 9 heavies for the new variant. I guess I bought that many ATTEs. And then we also have about 6 of the old ones. Very similar in kind, just a bit of a different helmet swap with some new torso printing. Next, in terms of the 187th, I have about 15 of these guys. I used to own a lot more. And then in terms of the actual airborne, so we got some of the airborne variants of those guys, which look really great next to the 212th Airbornes, by the way. I also have 4 Shock Trooper clones. I have 4 Commander Neo clones, which is admittedly pretty cool. And then I have 4 ARC Troopers, which I don't know if I mentioned that. Technically it's 5 over there, but one of them is missing a bunch, including leg printing, so I didn't count him. But we have 4 fully official ARC Troopers. And then we also have Kashyyyk Troopers. Now, we have about 20 of these guys. And that's nice, because they're very nice figures. Personally, I've seen some new concept designs of them in like the new Scout Trooper design, and I think that's great looking. And then I also have, again, a bunch of the, like those variants, this 2014 variants, but in green, but those are away on work right now. And speaking of which, we do have those Geonosian ones back there. We have a nice chunk of those, and then we also have the Geonosian Troopers as well for the Airbornes. So we have a nice set of Airbornes. There's like a nice variety nowadays. I also have a lot more yellow Phase 1 Commanders. I believe this is what it says right on my list right now, that we have 9 of them, but I think there are more than that. I think we probably have closer to 11 or 12. Some of them have arm printing and stuff like that. They're a little modded. And we also have 5 Phase 1 pilots of varying degrees. So we have 2 of the 2008 ones, and then we have 3 of the 2013 ones. Then we have about 3 sergeants, then we have 6 Horn Company troopers, and then we have different types of ARC troopers. So we have some with like Horn Company torsos, which they really shouldn't have. Those should really be on plain white torsos, but they kind of matched. So I just kind of gave it to them. And then also we have some in the back that came in the ARC Trooper Battle Pack. We have about 6 of those. And then we have about, what is that, 4 in terms of the other ones. Then we also have about 8 of the Phase 1 heavies from that Clone Battle Pack. We have a nice plethora of Bomb Squad Troopers, which is very nice. And then we have about 21 Senate Commandos, which is kind of my most underrated army, and some people don't even count them as clone troopers, understandably so. I think it actually might be 22. And it's because they're technically not clone troopers, but they don very similar clone trooper armor. You can even see on their torso, they have the exact same printing, literally, even though that's technically not accurate to the show. And then finally, I'd be remiss if I did not mention the old style clones. We have about 9 of them total: Shock Troopers, regular white troopers, and then we also have the Recon Troopers and the Star Corps Troopers. There are a lot of them. And I actually have a new battle pack I'm going to be opening after this, and which is why I need to film this video for a whole different story. But the summation of most of those, excluding the custom minifigures, we end up with around 760 clone troopers, which is a very nice number. But that is nothing, and they are nothing without their epic vehicles. So let's start with the behemoth at the center, the Venator. Now, I'm not really going to count this as part of the army because it's not figure scale, and I think it looks epic. I'm just going to say, like, that's a great looking shot. That's very intimidating. Being said, love it. Great set. Would recommend. Don't have anywhere to put it. We also have a grand total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ATTEs currently in use in my collection. I have 3 more that are sitting in a closet right now for sale that are not doing anything, but I didn't feel like bringing them out because they also didn't fit on the table. There's no room here. I also have 1 of the brand new Republic gunships. Very limited number, obviously. I might get 1 or 2 more, but I'm not going to go crazy. It's not an army builder type. I'm going to wait for more of the classic style ones before I army build any of them. This is not the original clone gunship. In fact, I've never owned the 2013 clone gunship. Unfortunately, it's a goal one day. It's a dream. But we have this custom one from my buddy One Stud, who did it a really long time ago. Very nice guy. One of my first ever clone sets was the 501st Clone Walker set. We have 2 of them here. I think that one might actually be the original one right over there, which is kind of cool. I remember it came with a Yoda, and I ended up trading that Yoda for a white Boba Fett minifigure, like the old classic one. Best trade in my life. And I remember getting that at Toys R Us. It was awesome. Now, we also have this one that came out in 2019. That was like a Kashyyyk 20th anniversary of like a Star Wars set. We have 2 currently of these guys. Now, for those who have watched my channel, they know I destroyed 100 Lego sets, and among those were Clone Army Lego sets, and some of those are still destroyed or have been sold since, or gotten rid of, pieced out, whatever, lost to the bin of history. But I have 2 survivors here. I think I might have a third in the closet, but nothing crazy. And then that makes up most of the back here. We also have 1 of the classic Clone Battle Pack builds, which is nice. I have a turbo tank. This was my childhood turbo tank. I loved this thing. There were not many clone sets I had growing up, just because there weren't many available being made by Lego. Like the Captain Rex ATTE, and this was my Clone Army. And Captain Rex, old man Captain Rex over there, those old guys, those are my clone troopers. I'm telling you, it was terrible. There were not many of them. Because I started in 2016 when no clone troopers basically existed, and it was like that for 4 years. Anyway, we have 2 ATDPs. Very cool. Like, you could kind of tell I'm not big in the set collections. We have a V-Wing I got much later on. I think I got that in 21. We have a Freako Speeder. I've actually had this one for a decent amount of time. We have the Bad Batch Shuttle. I actually have 2 of these, ironically enough. One of them is from the Brickwiz. He has a mock that I think it was on that it is now in a Lego Star Wars magazine, so that's cool. So I own one that's currently in a Lego Star Wars book, actually. It's the $150 book. Here's this. This is the 2008 ATTE. Honestly, it's kind of proof positive that the sets have gotten better over time. You just look at these guys right next to each other. This one looks much better. Being said, this was bigger. It is a nice set. I like it a lot. We have 1 new build from the 501st Battle Pack. We have 1 build from the new 332nd Swamp Speeder. We have 1 of the speeders from the 501st Battle Pack. And then we have, these are all just representative. I have way more of these. And then I also have, whatchamacallit, the Republic Fighter Tank. This is the one that came with Aayla Secura back in 2017. I just nerded out all over you there. Now let's tell you what else is in the army that you currently don't see. Okay, so what did I leave out? The first big thing, I recently purchased 25 battle packs with the new clone variants, the new plain white clone variant, phase 2 editions, and shock troopers from Brickley, where he's in the middle of building the largest clone army ever, and I helped contribute a little bit to that. So he's going to be sending those to me, and we're going to be adding them to this army. You might see that in 2025. We'll wait and see. So that's a big army order. I also have several custom minifigures. Those are going to be coming in from Grandpa Clone Customs, Jonak Toys, and Lego Fan 442. And there's a lot of clones that are just coming in. I have a handful, closet sealed up, but I'm not counting any of these sealed ones in my clone army figure just because I'm counting them as kind of as a separate collection. So like in the past I have counted because I used to keep a couple sealed. For instance, I'm trying to keep as many battle packs as possible sealed. I have about 10 so far, so there are some in there that I'm just not counting into this figure, but I'm going to say the total final figure that I have is around 900 clone troopers at this point, which is the largest my personal clone army has ever been. The last time I did a clone army video was on my main channel, I believe back in 2022, which was 2 years ago. It was a lot. I believe it was in the 500s around then. So we've gotten significantly bigger, and that is very exciting, and there are a lot of new clone sets coming out on the market soon. We're getting a lot relating to Commander Cody, and this is hopefully just the beginning of some new sets that they will be doing. I think the highlight here is clearly the Venator. It looks gorgeous. And then the rest of the army, it has gunships now, it has ATTEs. It's very nice to see how it has grown. Now, I'm obviously Republic Studs, and building Lego clone armies kind of has been a part of my channel history. I've been doing this for a really long time now, and I remember starting up my channel in a little studio. It was a big deal when I could fill half a base plate full of a bunch of random clones I could cobble together. Some were custom, some were official, some were meshed together. I've gotten a little more particular as time has gone on, but I was so excited. We did a clone base. It was very cool, and I'd strongly recommend going back and watching some of those videos because they don't hold up the best, but they're very entertaining to watch, and I always appreciated the journey. So when watching this, don't think, oh man, that's so cool, I wish I had that many clones. I have them all. It's not like once you have them all, it doesn't feel that exciting, and I look at other people who have much more than I do, and I know a lot more people personally who have way more than I do. In fact, most people I work with have way more than I do, and And it doesn't really do anything for you. It's just more, and you could always have more and you could always have less. It always stops at a point, and I think part of the excitement about it is the journey to getting them. So by just buying a bunch of boxes one day, if you just come into a bunch of money and just buy a bunch of boxes, it takes away all the fun. So enjoy the process a little, buy one custom at a time. Personally, the way I suggest doing it, maybe set aside a small clone budget. Every month you give yourself $40 to work with. You can buy whatever customs, whatever official, just set that aside, and then maybe at the end of the year you have a much larger clone army, or you can, do whatever you want, really. It's up to you. I'd say that's the best way to do it because you enjoy the process. That's what I'd say to do. I certainly got to enjoy the process growing up and growing with my channel, and that's about it. I hope you all enjoyed. With that said, subscribe, and I will see you all next one. God bless and stay awesome.